Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the sexy ninja in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. This is the New World Podcast, brother. And we're going to talk about SmackDown, July 7th, 2023. Michael Cole, Wade Barrett on commentary. We are in the Garden, Madison Square Garden in New York. And what a fucking show, man. With only 3 matches. Let me throw that out there right now. With only 3 matches. And the first segment is with the tribal court. The tribal chief is on trial. It took up the first 35 minutes of the show. And we ended with the Bloodline still. And talk about, like, this show's a banger. I mean, this show was so... I was so invested in the starting. The Usos come out. Then Paul Heyman and Solo come out. And there's just this great thing in the atmosphere, man. And Paul's about to speak, and then there's just this one great moment when Solo grabs the mic, throws the mic out, then here comes Roman Reigns, and he comes out, and, you know, he's put on trial. They got Exhibit A and whatnot and everything. They're going off, and he's like, why are you trying to get me on my lowest? You're trying to turn on me. You know, and there was a you got pinned chance, you fucked up chance. I mean, this was just, like, off the hook. I was so invested. 1,041 days as champ. Think about that, man. Will we ever see that again? I don't know. But then just this great acting moment. Like, after everything's been said and done, Roman's there, and he's like, you're the tribal chief, Jay. You know, not Jimmy. Fuck Jimmy. But you know, he's about to give him the crown. And he takes his championship, throws it off, and he gets on his hands and knees, and on cue, puts his head up, and he's got a tear. And I'm like, oh, man, you're feeling all these emotions. And Jay, like, grabs, he's like, hey, man, we can, you know, and bam, right to the balls. He says, fuck you. I'm the tribal chief. And then just some great moments, great spots. Jimmy getting Solo, then Solo picking up the crown pretty much, and, like, looking at Roman, and Roman's like, what are you doing, you know? And just a full-on beatdown on Jimmy. They tie up Jay at one point, and they're just beating down Jimmy with the steps and everything, you know. And Solo put him through a table, you know, and then Jay was thrown over, and it looked like everyone is decimated. And after everything was said and done, Jimmy was stretchered out, got in the ambulance with Jay, and they took off. And I was like, oh my God! I paused. I was like, damn. And I looked. I was like, that was the first 35 minutes of the show? Holy shit. Then we got our first match, Sheamus versus Austin Theory. A banger. A banger, bro. Man. But Pretty Deadly come out and help out. But the Brutes come out and everything like that. Austin Theory still the champ. This was for the United States Championship, but this was the match, man. This is a really good match right here, and I'm hoping we get more of these. I hope we get more, hopefully next week we get Austin Theory teaming up with Pretty Deadly versus the Brawling Brutes. I want to see this feud go on a little bit longer. Then we had the Grayson Waller effect with Edge, you know. And I got to say, Grayson Waller got his desk back. I was like, yeah, he's got his desk. Because usually with these type of shows, they usually strip them down all the way to the point where they got, like, just a poster and maybe a chair. And then the chair disappears and you got nothing else. But he says, Edge is going to retire. And Edge is like, hell no. And it sets up our main event. And we're already at the hour mark of the show. And we're setting up the main event now. And I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do. Then we got AJ Styles with Michin versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett. AJ Styles for the win. This match was fun. This feud was just kind of like, I hope we're done with the feud. I hope we're just done. Then Asuka comes out. Then Bianca interrupts. Then Charlotte interrupts. Then a fight breaks out. And guess what? Io Sky with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm like, what is going on? And Bayley's there. Oh, man, I was like, is she going to cash in? You know, almost, but did not cash in. Oh, my God. I was like, with the starting and everything in a banging match, and then we go Grayson Waller just having fun as this match, and then Asuka comes out, and there's just a big old fight and everything like that, and Charlotte's looking beautiful as ever, and Bianca's looking great, Asuka's looking great, then Io Sky, and I was like, oh, there's so much. Then I was like, here you go, now we're here for the main event. I'm like, what? Edge versus Grayson Waller's now? And man, another banger, man. Edge took Grayson Waller to the next level, and Grayson Waller, and the badass thing about this whole thing is when Edge picked up the mic afterwards, because he tells him earlier when he was on the Grayson Waller effect, he goes, you either sink or swim, blah, 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 and he looks at Grayson Waller and goes, hey, you swam, and threw the mic, and I was like, oh, nice little rub from Edge, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? I looked at the time, I was like, we're not done. We still got like 15 minutes left of the show. Then it goes to Roman backstage with Solo. Then Paul comes in. He's like, hey, Jay's back in the building and he's looking for you. And Roman goes, yeah, well, we'll meet him out in that ring. And I was like, what? And then Roman comes out with Solo and Paul. They're in the ring. Then here comes Jay. After Roman Reigns, like, I didn't want to come back out here again. But Jay comes out from the crowd, and you just feel the electricity. This is the cherry on fucking top of this show. And he comes down, he takes out Solo. He's about to take out Roman, and everything like that. He picks up the mic. He's like, yo, Oos, you hurt my brother. The gloves are off. And, the tribal chief, the tribal court, he goes, I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. And I was like, oh, my God. He goes, and he's challenging Roman. He's challenging Roman for the title. And I was like, oh, we're going to see this at SummerSlam. This is a huge match, huge opportunity. Main event, Jey Uso. And that's it. That's all. 3 matches. And that was it on this show that was packed so heavy. 5 out of 5. One of my favorite SmackDowns. I had a good time. Tell me what you think of this show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe button. God damn, man. Woo! Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get that sweet nWp logo created by Penta X. Anything and everything helps. I hope you're rocking with us at Paper Saber Universe. We got Sexy Ninja Cats on the way and a few more other projects. Thank you for listening. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja. And as always, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
And Jimmy Uso now taking up for his brother Jey as he goes after Roman Reigns. As once again, and now Solo Sikoa gets involved. As once again...